Ladies and gentlemen, Kazangpo and welcome to the BoB Bhutan Premier League, where it brings us to the scenic TSIRANG artificial turf, where TSIRANG welcome DRUKPA FC in what promises to be a fascinating battle between two sides eager to build momentum. The hosts begin the day 6th in the standings on 11 points and know that victory could see them climb another place, drawing level with RTC in the table. DRUKPA meanwhile sit 8th in 10 points. But such is the congestion in mid-table that 3 points this afternoon could lift them as high as 6th. And we have the Warriors stepping out onto the field, preparing for the battle that is to come. A bit of names coming back into the starting 11 after missing out last time around. But before we dive deeper into the starting 11, ladies and gentlemen, we await the national anthem. It is DRUKPA FC in white. It is TSIRANG in their signature red. But until the national anthem is over, this is your commentator, Unauthorized. See you guys in a couple of seconds. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Kazangpo and welcome to yet another match day of the BoB Bhutan Premier League here at TSIRANG, this time around where we have the hosts TSIRANG FC in red facing off against DRUKPA FC in white. Neither side arrives short on entertainment right now. TSIRANG were involved in a thrilling 3-3 draw here on home soil last time out, where we had that amazing first half. 3 goals, amazing first one from Alex Willen, followed up by Tenda and Stefan Solin. All long ranges as well. Looking forward to the same, as here is the starting 11 for the home side. Under head coach Pema, it is Antonio Dylan da Silva, their goalkeeper at 41, Kinzang 24, John Payne Sasha, their captain, Alex Willen 21, their spearhead in the middle, Pema, Stefan Solin, their leading goal scorer, Rinchen Namge 11, Singawachu 10, Tenatoji, who's back again, his second time around, this time back in the top flight of Bhutanese football, Afiz Olawale Oladipo, number 9, and Tampi Ernest, number 23, last time around in their face-off versus DRUKPA in round 1. It was Tampi Ernest's lone goal that gave them the 3 points in one of the first major upsets of the tournament that gave TSIRANG the momentum they needed to climb into a suitable spot up in Tier 1. But on the other end is DRUKPA FC looking much more different this time around compared to their last face-off. It is Sachin Jha who's back, their goalkeeper. John Miles Flynn, who's getting the start this time around. Punsa Jimmy Bella, who's back after his 1-game suspension, was not there versus that draw against PFF. Woo Kyung Yun, number 6. Chong Lee, the other Korean. Philip Eugene, 21, their target up front. Kinle, Rehan Rajiv, who's getting his first start. Kencho Topge and Fahad Timuri, one of the 2 goal scorers in the last of the lineup. Kencho Topge and Fahad Timuri. Those 2 goals that gave them that draw versus BFF Academy. Kencho, I believe, did not get that start during their last outing versus TSIRANG. Fahad Timuri and Rehan Rajiv, quite relatively new signing. Chong Lee also on the bench during that time. It was Min Shin who started. Jimmy Tenzin on the bench as well this time. Will get the start there. Korean Bin Shin still not on their bench as well. Not quite sure what happened. Did hear that it was an injury to begin with, but does seem like it is taking a bit of time coming right back in. But today that will not be what their primary focus will be. Only literal separating the two teams facing off today. Only BFF Academy right in between, 2 spots away. Today, all the ingredients of an open competitive contest between the two. The only question that remains is, will TSIRANG continue to make home advantage count, or will DRUKPA spoil the party and leapfrog over their rivals? Kickoff is moments away. Do let me know which team you are supporting going forward. Do let me know which player you feel will be heavily missed in the match going forward. And more importantly, do let me know which team you are supporting in the overall campaign. Now 4 p.m, all that's left is the final whistle. And with that, we are now underway in a much-awaited face-off between the two. Amazing quality in display from both sides. DRUKPA FC, their form has dropped a bit. One of the most explosive starts to the season anybody has ever had. Started off with an upset, gave the one and only loss Bhutan FC has faced so far this season. Only one draw since that loss, but it has been by the way of DRUKPA FC, who was simply stellar in their first match up in the top flight of Bhutanese football. But since then, we do have to admit their form has dropped a bit. Losses coming unexpectedly, a lot of draws especially for DRUKPA. Typically, they do have a lot of firepower up front, but earlier it was a much different squad. It was Leon Sullivan up front, who is not in this game, is on the bench alongside Barun Kangyamam, Devo, Tokpam, and Ishiwanchu. But back then, it was Leon Sullivan alongside was Matthew Musa. We did see Minshin and the rest of his company, Bella as well. But at that time, it was a fairly set balance in terms of offense and defense. As Olawale Oladipo, early opportunities denied first, denied the second. What just happened? A clean dribble cutting into the left, got Olawale Oladipo all the space to go 1-1, but hesitated way too long, too many feints. At some point started getting unnecessary, and TSIRANG will not find the advantage. Amazing goalkeeping there from Sachin Jha as well. But despite the save, went out for a second opportunity, shot came in, and somehow that was denied as well. Early heat check for TSIRANG, this time looking for a low delivery from afar, will not go in. Refusing to give out initiative, however, John Payne Sasha keeping TSIRANG's hopes alive, but this time whipped in way too early. Sachin Jha will let it roll for a goal kick after that early jump scare from the side of TSIRANG. Olawale Oladipo for sure will be getting to regret that. DRUKPA looking for an answer of their own. But the way they place, especially in the later half of the campaign, hasn't really shown that they are that as explosive as they showed down in the qualifiers and maybe even the start of the season. Did enjoy a fair bit of stretch up at the top of the table for some time. But since then, it has been a clear separation. The top three now set in stone: Paro, Thimbusiri and Transport United. A fair margin between 4th and 5th. RTC all the way down at 14. So a lot of work going forward if they want to continue on with the congestion we have seen this season. Singh. TSIRANG already 2 decent attempts this time. Their leading goal scorer on the flanks, unable to find an advantage past Bella. The first touches of this game for Tendadoji did look for an advantage early on. Tries to get a header in this time, but flicked the other way. Sachin just to take. Tampi Ernest. Back to Antonio. A normal stretch after that jump scare early on from TSIRANG. Did get a decent opportunity. Not quite sure what happened in that backline for DRUKPA. But they may not want a recap of that this early, especially against TSIRANG, who has shown at home that they can come in with an absolute bang. It didn't really take much. 30 minutes all it took to find 3 goals. Just unfortunate they couldn't really hold on to it because of due to those heroics from the side of Chickdrill from RTC. Had a man down early for TSIRANG. Hopefully it is okay. He is okay. Stephen Solin tracking back. Bella excavating the space right up in front. John Miles Flynn playing much better. Did have a shaky start to his campaign all the way down from the qualifiers. Not really as impactful as DRUKPA may have hoped him to be. But this time has been performing absolutely well. Getting a shot in for themselves. Despite the miss, will be an effort they may want to appreciate, because eventually, as TSIRANG starts to get tired out, their angles will only get better with time. Chaotic down the middle, Singh it down, back out to Tampi Ernest. Tried to contest with DRUKPA down in that midfield, but right now unable to find the space they wanted. That early opportunity for Oladipo, unable to be replicated. 8 minutes in, and back towards Sachin Jha. Woo Kyung-yeon, time and again has been posted up at that centre-back position, has been moved up to midfielder. Maybe that one time, again, typically plays on that right back with his partnership with his Korean counterpart, Min Shin, doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that back line alongside Bella. We do see Dave Tokpam completing that forward in the back for DRUKPA, but right now only 2 of the typical 4 putting in the work for DRUKPA. As well as Oladipo stolen off before Oladipo had a chance, and now the other way. Jimmy on the throw-in was Bella's main partner in that backline during their time as Namla, but right now enjoying his stint up front. A bit more involved in build-up, looking to drive it in, does find Fahad Timuri. An early test there for Dylan, but despite being accurate, not really too threatening for the TSIRANG goalkeeper. Stalin all the way back. There you can see on the right for DRUKPA. It is Ran Rajiv, 88, signed alongside Fahad Timuri. Hasn't really gotten many minutes to prove his worth for the side of DRUKPA. On the other end, Fahad, a consistent threat on that left flank. TSIRANG. Senda creating a bit of early panic there for DRUKPA. Does well, at least earning that corner for Stefan Solin. Decent ambition, but may want a bit more accuracy on that one, as it was quite easy there for Sachin to eliminate that threat, despite all those numbers posted up for TSIRANG. Kenza played short. Jimmy looking to get a run in early. Unable to meet the contact, however, sent back. Send out. Throw in for DRUKPA.
Wait.
Tampi Ernest. John Payne Sasha. The memory of an own goal still fresh in his mind. Went in the similar way as Timpu's own goal. Tried to clear it off, ended up sending that ball in with the tackle past his own goalkeeper. May not want a repeat of that. But it is football after all. May see one go win. DRUKPA on the other end was on the receiving end of an own goal in their first outing. This time did well, at least sending that shot out despite the challenges that came in his way. Just unable to put it on target. It will be Sachin Jas again. TSIRANG looking plenty alive. Typically, their forwards do take a bit of time getting used to, unless they have the involvement of Alex Willen. But right now, the rest of their forwards do seem to be meshing together well, especially with the addition of Tenda Toji, who had a stellar return to the BoB Bhutan Premier League in their last outing versus RTC. Well, one can only say TSIRANG has found their missing piece. It was a long time coming, promised his return on their first home game. Did not see him even on the second. But glad to see his back end strong. Rehan Rajiv. Chongli with possession down midfield. Coming in strong, John Payne Sasha. Kinarabge. Woo Kyung Yun. Still Woo. Rehan Rajiv now on the flanks. Defense came in clutch there from Stefan Solin, looking for options up front. Olawale Oladipo, Alex Willen. Tenda. Still Tenda. Able to get a shot up. Got past Jimmy with relative ease, but didn't really see that defender in the way of that shot. And now Philip Eugene the other way. Not many defenders. Narrow angle to work with. And that shot will miss wide by a wide margin. Plenty of advantages. None played out according to plan. Philip Eugene. Antonio off. And so is the shot, but man down up front for DRUKPA. DRUKPA may want to get some prayers up. Nyakam getting evaluated on the sidelines, may be able to return. It was simply the goalkeeper who ended up on his back while trying to get that ball cleared off from Bella. But now TSIRANG, Stefan Stalin. Not quite sure what Sachin Jha was thinking when that ball came in, but that was nowhere near close to making an effort towards the ball. Simply unfortunate for Stefan, went right back out from the crossbar. So many dangerous situations escalating from the side of TSIRANG, but only fortune keeping them away as Fahad the other way, but a solid defensive effort coming in. Madoji able to send that away, but look at that, Stefan left foot. Sachin definitely thought that was nowhere near any threat, but may have had his heart jump a bit as TSIRANG this time will make no mistakes. Hafiz Olawale Oladipo, the man who presented the first danger in this match, will get the first goal as well. haven't failed to please their home crowd in quite a while now, and their fans will continue on to be treated time and time again. Completely unselfish on that build-up from the side of TSIRANG. And Hafiz did amazingly well, keeping himself in the position where the passing lane wasn't uninterrupted, where the finish was past Sachin Jha. A well-deserved goal for TSIRANG's amazing striker. Did see a troubling spell in the first round of their campaign after having been brought in off of amazing spells from Timor City and Transport United. But with this one, hopefully it is one of many to come. That setup from Alex Willen as well, former teammates in Transport United, and right now the main engine of TSIRANG continuing to shine. Last time around, it was only 1 minute. They took the second from Zenda. Went in 22 minutes in. And right now, 19 minutes. Given the sheer momentum TSIRANG gains and takes advantage of, may not be long before we see another fall in. Olawale Oladipo up front, posted up strong. Bella doing all he can, still unable to send the man down. Stefan Solid on the overlap. Pematochi, this time not much advantage pass. Rehan Rajiv doing an amazing job still. Ball goes in. Just crossed the line way too early. Again, look at that. Bella doing all he can to send Oladipo down on the ground. But just enough strength, just enough balance to find his footing and keep that possession going. Just ended up being trapped as they send it down to the flanks. For Timuri looking for advantage up front. Antonio quick to send it back out. Chong Lee. Alex Willen. Challenge comes in clean. Singewachu. Back out Tampier, and his pressure coming in strong there from Philip Eugene. Has to force the involvement of Dylan. Kinle. Chong Lee. Ended up sending it right to a Singe. Stefan Solin. Lacked force in that pass over to the other side. That touch, however, got them the chance back, but it will be DRUKPA's to take. Only one decent effort right now from the side of DRUKPA. It was for Timuri. They tested out deep waters early on. And so far, 21 minutes. Might want to start getting their chances up front. Taken as soon as they can. Rehan Rajiv on the left. Champion is coming in. Fahad Timuri stepping up to take the corner. His passes have been eerily accurate. This time, may want to use that to find a teammate inside that box. Not quite the easiest of opponents to get an advantage up in the air, but TSIRANG may want to fight it off as hard as they can. They do. Stefan Solin now on the break. Got a pass out to Oladipo, but it was an easy read for Rehan Rajiv, who wins it right back. Still Rehan tried to keep it under control, lost balance, ended up way up high in the air towards Antonio Dylan da Silva. And now Alex Willen. At least there was a fair bit of promise on that run up front for TSIRANG. But centrally is where they are taking a lot of their advantages right now. May want to continue doing so until DRUKPA comes to a realization with that one. John Payne Sasha. Alex Willen. Back out, Kinza. Has been an underrated performer for the side of TSIRANG on that left-back position. Has come out on top of so many matchups against elite wingers. Hard to miss his performances as that doesn't really show on the scoreboard. But has kept so many denials for his team. As a reckless kick there. Does keep it towards a teammate, but now the follow-up, unable to do so. Rehan Rajiv, left-footed, whipped in. Almost as dangerous as it possibly could have been. Philip Eugene up against John Payne. Sasha, who did well fighting that one off. Does seem to have gotten hurt in that play leading up to that clearance. But well, we'll shove it off. The captain back up on his feet. Has one more assignment to take. Jimmy Tenzin right up in front of Antonio, creating a lot of chaos. Far out contact from Kencho, but unable to send it in towards the net. And it seems like we have an early yellow card this time on Kencho Topke. May want to do well not to test the referee's patience. Singh able to send it back. Rehan Rajiv matched up against Stefan Stalin, coming out on top. Rehan gets ahead into Asfahat Timuri. Also, does seem like it is Farhat Timuri's birthday today, so may want to go out at the end of this match with more reasons to celebrate. Today as Chong Lee, Woo Gyung Yun. TSIRANG. Fair possession both ways this time of the match. But with advantage, Philip Eugene up front. Tampian as a step over, gets him left. Challenge came in from the two defenders. Wanting a call there, but play on it is. Did have his foot extended, Tampianist. But always a hard game to interpret for the referees, as it will matter not DRUKPA with possession nonetheless. Farhat Timuri. This time the chance to get a ping in past Antonio, because open play not really working out for DRUKPA. May want to get that equalizer first before they begin to think about step two. Curler in, decent contact right up front, follow up off to the sides of the net. Dylan did well blocking off that first effort that definitely was on target. But that rebound just ended up narrowing the angle even more. made that shot just plain awkward. A closer look at that one. Fahad did well, keeping it away from as many Tirang defenders as he possibly could have. Only Tampi Ernest inside that makes Kencho with that first follow-up. Decent job, but still a lot more to do. Still fighting for one away. DRUKPA in possession. About half an hour in. John Miles Flynn hasn't got a touch in a while. Tampi Ernest will continue to keep it that way. John Payne Sasha, responsible for facilitating all the way up front to that left wing. Tendatoji, last time around, similar setup, got him that left-footed shot, but this time, Jimmy able to put in enough of a challenge to deter the legend and his second contribution for TSIRANG's campaign. Jimmy, John Miles Flynn, back out to Jimmy Tenzin. May have been a bit unintentional with that one, but does end up shaving a couple of precious seconds over from the side of DRUKPA. As Woo Gyung Yun. Chong Lee. Still Chong Lee, down to Fatimuri. Pimadoji. Came in strong there, wanting no risks to be taken. Because they all know 77 down on that left wing, deep inside with the gravity he brings as well, will make it a hard job to deal with for his centre-backs. DRUKPA continuing to test it. Rehan Rajiv all the way up front. Tampi Ernest coming in. Stefan Stalin for help as well. But Tampi Ernest simply bullying all he can. Rehan Rajiv tried to post up, but the centre-back way too strong. Chong Lee. Now down the middle, Philip Eugene, John Payne, Sasha gets to it first, and now all the way up front, Tenda. Jimmy, successful in their last encounter. This time, successful again. An amazing effort getting the read correct. Extremely disciplined too. Did not fall for all of those fakes that were coming in for Tenda. And that defense will continue to help DRUKPA hold on to the 1-goal margin they are fighting back from right now. Stefan Stalin, Senior want you for the help. Will lob it up high. Alex Willen, Olawale Olatipo, Tenda on the left, may want to get himself in position. Alex Willen still, Olawale Olatipo, but it is Sachin Jha who gets to it first. Oladipo simply left staring at that ball for way too long. Ended up a step behind that ball and a touch in on it. Three minutes in. Not much more time remaining. A bit more than 10 minutes as DRUKPA still looking to find their answer back to TSIRANG's early opener. But Oladipo's goal still safe right now, but that yellow card will set them back a little bit, at least. One yellow card for each team right now. As Philip Eugene continues on to earn those whistles from the referee, Kin Zhang, messing with that delivery from Fahad Timuri. A closer look at that one. John Payne Sasha, way too late. Philip had already sent that ball way too up ahead. That's this time chance, but Antonio able to get it behind his head. Singh, Zenda in midfield this time. Pema and Singh. A bit more help wanted on that recovery. Kinle. Back over to Rehan Rajiv. John Miles Flynn short. Kinle an option as well. After that delivery from Fahad, somehow still an opportunity for DRUKPA. John Miles Flynn able to retain possession, does stumble, does still manage to get an outlet towards the wing. Rehan Rajiv testing deep waters. Philip Eugene with an overhead. Fahad had the perfect setup courtesy of Rehan, and Philip Eugene just unable to find that ball. Sweet center. Fahad. Pema on the matchup. Fahad. Solid footwork there from the winger. With a bit too much strength. Kinchotopki on the other end tried to do a little bit too much and simply ended up losing possession. Over to the other side. Could have been much else he could have. Was a lot much more he could have done. But not really going smoothly in the first half for him. Was the recipient of a yellow card early on in this match. And the struggles continue on. DRUKPA unable to find any clear way forward. They are getting a lot of chances at least, which is a good sign, but may need a proper connection sometime soon. Going into the halftime break, a goal down may not be the best of conditions. Going into it level may just be enough momentum to be then able to find your step 2, step 3 all the way into a win. TSIRANG on the other end has Zenda posted up on that right. Singh helping out as well. There's the birthday boy today. Already a lot of chances created for DRUKPA. Just unfortunate that none of his teammates have been able to get at the end of his passes. Kincho. Down on the wing, Fahad. Clean touch, keeping it down. Rehan Raji stepping up. Bella now involved. DRUKPA's captain. May have been a piece they desperately missed during that draw versus BFF, where he would have done a really amazing job keeping those 2 goals from BFF away from the back of his own nets. But what else can you do? You may want to keep your calm accumulating those yellow cards, even if it is not a red. just ends up affecting your team negatively when those yellow cards become 3 and the next match is a big game. And in a league like this one, where every match carries a lot of weight given the spots that are at stake, well, every match is a big game. You would not want to miss any one of these, as DRUKPA now with a proper chance, this time on the right, the chance to curl it for a proper header. Bella had it going on target, but positioned quite brilliantly was Antonio Tillen da Silva. Brilliance of both ends of the ball. It is now Jimmy Tenzin for DRUKPA. Sent it right down the middle. Bella able to keep it under control, but not quite enough to find a teammate. Fahad still able to look for Kencho, left foot. Sent off Kille. Over to Jimmy, but a step too far back. It will be Tirang's possession now. Tirang steadily driving inside. Oladipo no longer in the advantage. Amazing defense there from Woo Kyung Hyun. May not have liked the way his team simply crumbled. Again, it was Oladipo. This time, just not enough to get past that final hurdle, but did well enough. It will be Stefan Stalin on the corner. Stefan. 6 goals to his name, 7th in the rankings right now in the top scorers for the BoB Bhutan Premier League. May want to get a couple more to at least get that individual glory going for himself. Zenda got up in the air, but whistle for Rehan Rajiv. Fahad, Chongli, and now Kile gets an effort up and barely denied by the fingertips of Antonio Tillen. Did an amazing job seeing that space for himself. And Tsirang now at DRUKPA's mercy. So many chances coming in the first half. Now the last 5 minutes where DRUKPA may feel a bit of rush. They're trying to get that one in. The only question is whether it will go in their favor. Did really end up working out for them. Philip Eugene downed. But the more concerning impact was on Tsirang. Philip does seem to be back up. Just seemed to land wrong. He is massaging his left wrist. Always a fragile place to work with. But with that back in action, Antonio Tillen da Silva to play it long. Sachin Jha. Not much time remained. Both may want to up their gears a little bit. Chong Lee down the middle. Up through Philip Eugene Fatimuri, tracking back, helping out, but that first denial from Tillen will be the end of that story, at least for now. Only a comma, the full stop yet to come as DRUKPA will wait on yet another corner. A solid delivery up front, got that right foot in. But Tampi Ernest did well fighting that possession off. Do feel like he bothered that shot enough to deny the elevation it needed to get past Antonio. But now last minute of play, it is Chong Lee on that right. But again Antonio, perfect with his read here in this match. Every high ball has been devoured quite proper by the TSIRANG goalkeeper. And is continuing to do so, as this time up front Alex Willen has been flagged offside. Plenty of time awarded, as additional time, 4 more minutes. DRUKPA almost had possession back through John Miles. Kencho able to keep it under control. The American back out to Kencho. Chong Lee getting heavily involved up front. It is an outlet towards Kencho. Tries to drive it in. Kenza. 1 minute down, 3 more to go. DRUKPA keeping ball still in play over in TSIRANG's end of the ground, as TSIRANG struggles to find escapes out of those ones. May turn out to be advantageous for DRUKPA, but TSIRANG right now steadily making progress, almost at the halfway line. Throw in Jimmy. Heavy contest there. Alex Willen finding space down the middle, but stolen off by John Miles Flynn. The American simply coming alive in the match today. Till now, it was a shaky performance for him to start the campaign of DRUKPA, but right now, looking like a completely different individual. Killerapke. Chong Lee. Philip Eugene getting involved in build-up. Tried to play it long. TSIRANG ended up clipping it short. That header keeps it in play. TSIRANG still. Challenge coming in from behind. Kencho Topge. Well, that chance too good to be true. Offside flag is up. DRUKPA still. Chong Lee now back out the other way. Down on the right flank. Tried to send it in, but TSIRANG's defenders getting every read correct. Not falling short. Not making any mistakes. TSIRANG doing an exceptional job today. Jimmy Tenzin forced to send it out long. Back out to Jimmy. With that flick, may finally get the space. Cuts in. John Flynn able to keep it towards Fatimuri, and now out towards Bella. cut in may have been too much. Tirang now compacted, may not allow a shot. Rehan Rajiv. Challenge came in from Oladipo. Bella on the flanks. Kept short. Antonio. But so many saves there from the Tirang goalkeeper, who is single-handedly keeping DRUKPA FC down at 0. Amazing job from their defense as well, narrowing all those angles down. But right now, no mistakes from Antonio, but the pressure may come again. Did well with the promise on the build-up, but Tirang's defense again able to hold out. And with that, Tirang will close off the end of a successful first half. 1 up against DRUKPA with that opening goal, which came in from Hafiz Olawale Oladipo. Amazing effort as a team from Tirang to keep DRUKPA's offenses at bay, and their goalkeeper simply exceptional. But with regards to exceptional forms like this one, always the question of sustainability. So, do continue to tune in. Thank you for the support. See you guys in the second half. Do let me know what you think the scoreline will be at the end of the 90 minutes. But until then, peace out. Ladies and gentlemen, good Sangpo and welcome back here in the second half of the bout between DRUKPA and TSIRANG. Playing down in the scenic TSIRANG artificial turf. We're looking at it. It looks absolutely majestic with the sun in the background, the greenery in the back as well. But with the whistle, we are now back in action. TSIRANG up by 1 with a goal from Afiz Olawale Latipo. DRUKPA playing down but recently coming alive. The man garnering worthy of your attention right now has been, however, Antonio Dylan de Silva, goalkeeper 41 for TSIRANG, who has been at the end of so many shots from DRUKPA, so many shots on target as well, that would have made it quite a considerable lead for DRUKPA if they had gone in past the goalkeeper, but somehow they haven't. And it is DRUKPA down against TSIRANG by 1. Comfortable margin to beat, but not a spot they want to be any longer than they necessarily have to, as right out of the gates, DRUKPA FC had a chance, had a ball going in, but Kinzang put a hand on it, trying to deny that ball from ever going in. The referee does have the red card locked and loaded. A closer look at that, a run down on that left, Nyakam did well, placing it above the goalkeeper. Philip Eugene right inside as well, but Kinzang. Again at the start of it all, it was for Hatimuri. And there again, did what he could for his team. And now DRUKPA will have the best chance possible to get in their step 1 for Hatimuri up on the spot. For the chance for DRUKPA to make it 1. It is up against Antonio Dylan de Silva, a goalkeeper who has been in exceptional form in the first half. Run up. Delivery, almost had a hand on it, but will not matter for Hatimuri. With one more to his tally, and the first for DRUKPA in this match, and back to square 1 we go. Denied the first time around with that deliberate intervention with the hands from Kinza. Couldn't be kept away for long. Fahad, no mistakes, placed it as clinically as he possibly could have. And it will be 1 for DRUKPA, 1 for TSIRANG. The home side losing their lead immediately after the restart in the second half. An immediate twist of fate, DRUKPA's rejuvenated effort almost got them a goal in out of open play. So that may give them just enough hope and just enough confidence to get one more going. Shot connected quite properly there, but Antonio again, decent save from the goalkeeper. Back out to that left flank. Alex Willen, John Flynn has been terrific in this match so far. Hasn't really gotten many minutes to prove his worth for the side of DRUKPA. Was a crucial part of their campaign down in the qualifiers. Did get a couple of minutes here and there, but not really as effective as he himself would have hoped to have been. But this match, turning his momentum completely around, DRUKPA looking like a completely new team. So many times we have seen them sit back, sit back, sit back. So many matches have ended in draws for them. Right now they are on track for that as well. But their decisiveness up front may be a determining factor. and finally breaking free from that curse and setting it away from the rest of the pack down in the middle of the table. Stefan Stalin, a bit more work to do, especially now that they are down to only 10. The underrated left back now out of the equation. They still do manage to somehow get the ball in a decent chance. And pass Sachin Jha, but not pass Pella. So many clearances right at the line for the captain of DRUKPA, and he will continue to add one more. Amazing chance there for TSIRANG, just unfortunate that DRUKPA simply ended up overpowering them in that final third. And now chance again, Kinle flicks it up, headed away. Dampi Ernest did well denying that first one. The follow-up came in as well. And now Olawale Oladipo. Past John Flynn, looking for help. Senda. Just enough pace, had to commit his body to it, ended up losing it over to Woo Kyung-yun. John Flynn again, Singhe coming in. Up front, Stefan Stalin will find an angle over the defender towards Chong Lee. Philip Eugene, a narrow angle down on the right. John Payne Sasha, TSIRANG's captain, taking it to himself with a step over curtain, and the top end makes short work of TSIRANG's lead. Equalizer, and now the lead. Just 6 minutes into the restart of the second half. Devastation underway for TSIRANG. Just had to watch a flurry of goals go in, but no chance there for Antonio, given the help Philip Eugene had on that run. If it was a shot first time, more than guaranteed that Antonio Dillon would have made the save, but with an outlet going towards Kinchutok and the defender a step too far behind, not much they could have done. TSIRANG finally facing the brunt of losing one man over to that guard. As DRUKPA now back in a comfortable situation. TSIRANG, despite not having Kinzang in that back four, still have all the pieces they need up front to get that equalizer and maybe even one more in. Came back from a similar situation versus Ugan Academy, where Stefan Stalin simply caught fire. Ended in a 3-2 draw with Ugan Academy finding the opener. A 3-2 victory for TSIRANG, despite conceding the lead over to DRUKPA Ugan Academy early on. May want to look forward to the same against DRUKPA, as TSIRANG in possession. Tries to send it through to Tenda, clipped off early. Jimmy Tenzin, enough height in the man to force a header back. Alex appealing for a call the other side, but we have a substitution underway. Olawale Oladipo will have done enough with that first goal for TSIRANG. Seem to be taking a bit more personnel out of that forward lineup, wanting a bit more help in that back line. However, Rehan Rajiv wanting to extend that further. Fahad Temuri able to get past Singhe, wanting that call from the referee, but Doesn't really get one. Singleton. Was away from his first touches, caught one through a throw-in. Played it down the flanks. Tender Doji looking for advantage past Jimmy. But that matchup has been in Jimmy's favor all game long. This time, Woo Kyung-yun surrenders it over to Tenda. Alex Willen. Tenda. Alex Willen down the middle. Singh has been a reliable option up front, especially as a glue guy. Did finally decide to take it one, so does have one on his tally. Now on the other end, may have to put up a defensive effort. They do so, ended up clipping that ball at the last possible second. Made it an easy pickup there for Antonio past Philip Eugene. Alex Willen. Similar range against RTC. Found that amazing strike. This time TSIRANG looking for options, but Stalin held back in his run by an amazing job from Rehan Rajiv. Despite the chances coming forward for TSIRANG without Olawale, it has been DRUKPA from which it feels like they do have the better odds in terms of forwarding one in. Jimmy able to get one right inside that box, almost towards Philip Eugene, but John Payne Sasha right up in front. Forcing that back. No easy goals coming for DRUKPA, requiring a bit of magic, requiring a bit more personnel to get their efforts in. DRUKPA able to find only one advantage out of the now 10-man TSIRANG squad. It was Kinzang sent off for the clear denial of a goal. Got himself in the way of Kencho Tobge's shot, which was going in, put his hand on it to send it back out. Ended up getting him a red card and a penalty for Hatimuri, which he made no mistakes with. Handled it with love, handled it with care, gave them the equalizer, and Kencho got them their second. And now up front, Jimmy able to clip it off. Woo Kyung-yun making a run for that ball, able to keep it on line and away from TSIRANG. John Flynn. Jimmy able to curl one in. Philip Eugene, narrow angle, help inside, but misses completely on the follow-up. A similar setup to that second goal, the first for Kencho. But this time just positioned way too deep inside. But at least did well getting that chance in the first place, and that may be what they want to hunt for going forward. Alex, a bit too reckless going in for Kinle. Kept that ball up above Alex Willen between Miles Flynn and Rapke. But does end up getting an advantage for DRUKPA. Jimmy. On the right, coming in. Was Rinchinamgil able to get a foot in, but Jimmy just enough presence to get that ball back up high in the air. Now John Flynn, right inside, follow up. Hesitated a bit, not enough power. Went off of Pema. Even without Minchin, DRUKPA still do have a lot of options they could go to. Philip Eugene, very capable. Bella as well. Fahad curls it short. Bella going out for the follow-up. It is TSIRANG's possession. Stefan Solin looking for Alex Willin. Rabge taking on that assignment. Able to get a foot in, but unable to find the ball with that. 3 challenges beaten. Alex Willin on a solid run down on that right, but far too much power, as it simply skims over everyone else inside that box. The crowd at the edge of their seats, especially with that run and the ability to get past that many defenders, but audibly disappointed with how that turned out in the end. Chanda. Alex Willin, unable to keep it towards a teammate. It is now DRUKPA. John Payne Sasha had that foot way too further up than the referee would have liked it to be. Kenchot. Getting a better chance for his team to regroup as Chongli trying to bargain with the referee on this one. As Bella playing it short, playing it quick. Killerabke down the middle. Jimmy Tenzin an option. It will be Chongli who is involved. Rehan Rachif all the way down on the flanks. Kille able to maneuver past the first challenge that came in, unable to do so on the follow-up. It is John Myers Flynn, however, still keeping possession alive. Chongli. John Payne Sasha coming in strong. TSIRANG now with the chance. Their captain taking that ball forward himself. Progress looking smooth. Able to keep that pass towards himself. Stefan Solin down over to the left now. Zenda saw a similar strike from him last time around versus RTC, but right now Jimmy Tenzin is kryptonite. In all of their matchups today, with Zenda trying to dribble past Jimmy, it has been Jimmy who has come out on top. As unfortunate as it may sound, Zenda in the pockets of Jimmy right now. May want to try something a bit risky, something a bit creative if he may want to find a chance up against the big man who's on stellar fire right now. As TSIRANG now facing difficulty as a team. Through to Zenda again. Not wasting time, send it out quick towards Singiwachu, who almost got a touch in. Again, a closer look at that one. Jimmy all the way far behind Woo Kyung-yun. Zenda saw that coming, saw that run as well. Well, it does seem like it was only Singlet that caught that ball, but unable to put any sort of direction or any sort of pace on that ball. Can't really expect much at the end of it. Still a close game, only up by 1. DRUKPA, by no means comfortable, has lost their fire that they started the second half with. As we are back in play from Zenda. Jimmy again out on top. with possession. Back to Jimmy. Philip Eugene. Now up Kencho, a lot of space. Rinchen tracking back. Wanting a bit more help, getting his midfielders involved. Chongli, Rabge, Jimmy. Just an unfortunate stumble there. As possession will now go back for Tsirang. A bit less than half an hour remain. John Payne Sasha. Curled in, heading towards the post, but just lacking that final bit of power to get it in past Sachin Jha. As Tsirang will fall short on their attempts yet again. Back through to Bella. Kept it down, keeping it down the middle. Nyakam now on the left wing. Tema. Back out. John Flynn involved, Chong Lee involved as well. Jimmy Tenzin may be the target this time around. He is. Just enough pace there from the defender to bother that pass enough from Jimmy, but it is took past possession to proceed with. Fahad, far post, misses everyone. Chong Lee on the recovery. Help coming in, Bella dropping back. Chong Lee, however, will push that ball even further inside that chaos. As that shot went in, Antonio Dillon forced into action. And Tsirang will continue to survive. On the bench for DRUKPA was Leon Sullivan-Taylor warming up, so we may see that substitution coming in soon. This time it is Chong Lee taking that corner for DRUKPA. Plays it back, looking for an angle down the middle. Played up towards Tsirang's defender. And nobody else from DRUKPA in the way. Rabke trying his luck. The substitutions coming in. John Miles Flynn is being taken out for Leon Sullivan-Taylor. With that, DRUKPA's attacking prowess may just have leveled up, but will it be too many cooks? We never know. Tsirang looking to keep pressure on DRUKPA's back line to buy their defenders just enough time to hang on until they can find an answer. But Sachin Jha, which may look like it is some time coming. Jimmy. Leon Sullivan, his first touches against pressure, out of which Alex Willen able to find a touch back towards Stefan Solin. Fahad Timuri. Double team coming in. It is Chong Lee able to clip that pass just enough, but Tsirang is in possession nonetheless. Stefan Solin single-handedly trying to carve open space for Tsirang to work with, which is not working today. But as we all know, may only need a little cap to get his stride in full speed. Tampi Ernest. Siren Gelson was subbed in after that red card for Kinzang. Yet another sub coming in for TSIRANG. Stenzwanda is being brought in for Singamachu. Already a lot of appearances for TSIRANG. Just recently showed us amazing form. Maybe relying on that to find TSIRANG's response to DRUKPA's lead. But the game remains open for anyone to take. 20 minutes remain. Now at 21, Philip Eugene. Down the wing, Rabke. Sent right back out, head up. Plenty of force behind that one, Sullivan Taylor. Now up front, Kencho getting Fahad involved. Sullivan and Kencho with Philip inside. Fahad tried to get that delivery with that left foot. But that read happened before the shot could ever manifest. Still DRUKPA's initiative. Back out to Chongli from Rabke. Now on the wings, Jimmy. TSIRANG's defense so far doing an amazing job. Does it yet again. As DRUKPA forced to retreat from a throw-in all the way down on the sidelines. Hectic bit of possession there, both sides getting a bit more frisky. But out of which TSIRANG able to almost find advantage. Wanda thought he had that ball under control, ended up feet too high, ball rolled right back out. Now with Rehan Rajiv. Stolen off. Sender. Almost a glimmer of hope there for TSIRANG. They are livening up their efforts up front with the addition of Tenzin. And it does help them out time and time again. Possession back. John Payne Sasha. Sender. Ricocheting right in between the two. It is Jimmy. Looking to keep it in. It is John Payne Sasha touch in. Leon Sullivan the other. John Payne may want to get Antonio involved. They are down a man, so it is proving to be that much more difficult to escape out of that press from DRUKPA. Leon. Off to Fahad. Chongli. Philip Eugene. DRUKPA. Looking much better. Philip had that chance but went in late. As now the yellow card locked and loaded, maybe heading off towards Philip Eugene. But the referee has called in the support from their medic as Pema down on the ground, grimacing after that contact. Attempt to end it. Hi! Tirang reminiscing their last opportunities they got versus RTC. Well, that's stellar first half. And even the follow-ups from RTC were simply gold. Trying that same against Zender, finding no initiative to come in closer to get that shot against Jimmy. Is getting a bit desperate. Definitely was a Hail Mary given how he launched that one off way too far out, too narrow of an angle. But may end up getting him some fruit later on, because right now those reads from Sachin Jan not quite perfect. It almost let in a couple of chances early on, as now Fahad Timouri on the other end. Decent chance in Dylan again at the end of that one. Tirang's goalkeeper single-handedly keeping Tirang's dreams and ambitions alive, at least in this game versus DRUKPA. Those direct efforts not working at all. The two goals right now are from a trap tap-in from Nyakam and from the penalty spot. As despite the promise, Philip possession hands it back over. Now to Leon Sullivan. Try to get it a bit far behind the defender, but unable to do so. Tsenda this time able to keep it away from Jimmy. Can it be the start of something magical? But no. Woo Gyong-yun able to hold things under just long enough to get that ball over to Sachin Jha. A bit less than quarter of an hour remain. Chong Lee. Yakam. Has Leon Sullivan. Has Jimmy. Opted to go to the wing, but it will be Tirang's ball at the end of it. Jimmy. Able to find a deflection. John Payne releases it up high just in time, but DRUKPA's ball it will be. As we have Vijay Samal coming in for Tsenda Doji. And Tille coming in for Stefan Stalin. Do believe we have a sub over for DRUKPA as well. It was Jimmy that went out and Pup that came in. Pup Doji, just number 17 for DRUKPA. Now up in front, Alex gets off a brilliant lofted pass up front, which Tenzin Wanda just throws away. Couldn't have asked for a better chance than that one, especially with Sachin just stepping up. Simply unable to control that power, then went out with that effort. Did have Bella making that run in directly behind Sachin Jha as well. So we never know. But that just makes it even worse for Tirang. Because you leave it up to the opposition to make mistakes. You leave it up on the opposition to make an effort to save it. You just make sure your part is done. Did not really go their way right now, as John Payne Sasha able to keep hope alive in that back versus Philip Eugene. decent chance there. Loving the decisiveness that went in with that effort, but Antonio doing well again. Hopes and dreams for the southern side still alive. A closer look at that shot that went in. It was Bella who had that shot just inside the crossbars. Really close there. As Bella may want to look for the completion of this arc of his. As both teams still sharing possession. Now up to TSIRANG. Alex. Waited for far too long for this one to come in from Tenzin Wangda. An amazing setup. Now finally gets TSIRANG. The one that has gotten away from them all evening. Sheer dominance from DRUKPA in the second half, now capped off by a response from the TSIRANG substitution. Efforts renewed. Life back in from the ashes. TSIRANG may now see themselves coming out of this bit of victory at home. Energy couldn't be higher. Simply ended up missing everyone until it was only Tenzin Wangda left. DRUKPA, despite their heroics, still job not done. May not want to concede any points here today at TSIRANG, as they do have a decent standing right now, 8th, but chance to climb all the way next to Thimphu up at 5th, to overtake TSIRANG and to overtake BFF. Bella, Chongli, not quite sure how intentional that was, but somehow able to keep it alive as that shot goes in! Back again, the blessings of TSIRANG, and now falling for DRUKPA FC as Nyakam netting his second. This was the same shot that TSIRANG opened up versus RTC. The same shot that came in from Jekdrel in their comeback. And this time that blessing continues on through their opposition. And it is Kencho Topke. Gets an amazing one past Antonio. Saw the space, goalkeeper up in the air, hung as long as he could, but still unable to find a touch on that blazing strike. TSIRANG's job just got harder. Now 3 for DRUKPA. 2 for TSIRANG, still 1 goal the margin to beat. Only 1 goal in the first half from Olawale Oladipo. 4 more has been scored in the second half. Leon Sullivan came in as a substitution, looking to put that freshness to good use as DRUKPA have a chance down the middle. Rapge feinting that shot, back out Sullivan. Nyakab was the top scorer for the qualifiers, from which DRUKPA, who was back then Namla FC, came from, alongside Hishiwachu, who is still on the bench. It was a blazing duo that put forth so many goals down in the qualifiers. Didn't really get to say that same quality. Started late, made his appearance late into DRUKPA's campaign, and right now back in full stride. TSIRANG by no means an easy team to take advantage of or even find any goals against. But Kencho making it look easy right now. TSIRANG are down to only 10. Not much time remained. Leon Sullivan playing it through up front. But they barely kept it alive. Yet another substitution it is. Samtin Norbu, who has come in for DRUKPA. Alex Willen. At the end of 90 minutes, 4 more have been added. Maybe plenty of time for TSIRANG to come back in. Or will we see one from DRUKPA? Both teams, their arsenals on full display right now. Guns blazing both sides. Despite being a man down, TSIRANG are not letting that show. Only 1 goal the margin. Separating the two from a much more comfortable position away from relegation zone is now for Timuri. Clipped off, somehow still able to maintain balance amidst all of that pressure, and now back to Antonio Dylan da Silva. Philip Eugene. Chong Lee. Leon Sullivan now on the wing. Fahad down the middle. Philip Eugene as well. Nyakam has been taken out. Samtin Norbu in his stead. Pupdoji. Rabke. Right inside. Chong Lee. Philip Eugene right up in front. Pass will go over to the flanks instead. Rehan Rajiv. Alex Quillen saw that run so many times. This campaign ended up paying off quite brilliantly time and time again, but this time will not be the story going forward. TSIRANG still looking for their holy grail, their third, and the equalizer versus DRUKPA, who right now are up 3. Those 2 efforts from TSIRANG. The recent one came in from Wanda, the other from Olawale, who has since been subbed out since the red card they got in the second half. TSIRANG looking for hope, but hope will continue to evade them, at least for now. A decent look at Tezwanda making that run far post past Sachin. Was simply evading them. It will be DRUKPA's to take. Last couple of seconds of play. And with that, despite having the lead going into the second half, somehow the tables have turned and turned on them immensely. As DRUKPA will come out with 3 points and now further away, much further away from relegation zone. DRUKPA now up alongside Thimphu at 13 points, 5th and 6th in the rankings. TSIRANG will shift down to 7th as we have a magnificent scenery amidst the closure of this match. One more day of break until we have an away game as the BoB Bhutan Premier League simply continues on to deliver to its fans. We have the top 3 pretty clear right now. RTC may have a chance, but dealing with a lot of injury concerns may be a bit difficult for them. Transport United in 3rd, Paros 2nd, Timur City up at top. Will be an exciting race going forward. But for today, that will be it. DRUKPA up 3. TSIRANG, despite their best, only mustered 2. It will be a loss for the home side after putting an amazing effort last time around at home versus RTC. But, well, it is football after all. And also, with regards to all the feedbacks, I do realize I am very adequate when it comes to this job. But if there are any more capable than me, please do step up. I do invite people time and time again. So why not take the opportunity? If they do step up, we'll help, we'll adjust, and help the sport that we all know and love grow by your own hands. Also really hard to do. Because you know that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, nobody's really going to be happy. But I will continue to try my best. I do apologize for not meeting your expectations. But that will be it for today. Do step up, do reach out if you ever feel like you can step up to the job. But until then, see you guys in the next one.